guys, and welcome to the Temple of Hatshepsut here in Luxor. So, as you can see, the temple is just right there behind me. Really impressive sight. However, my understanding is that it's actually around 60-70% restored, so not much of it is actually original, as in the stones are, some of them, but the actual it's pretty much reconstructed. The whole thing had collapsed during a massive earthquake, along with another temple that's just over there to the left of it, or sorry, to its right. So let's go and explore what there is to see in the Temple of Hatshepsut, which is a very special place. Alright guys, so a lot of you always ask me about recommending tour guides for you. So today my guide is a very actually special guy, because he's not just a random tour guide. He's actually a PhD in Egyptology, Dr. Mahmoud here. And if you guys are ever in Luxor and you want someone who's an expert, and I mean an expert, like the guy reads hieroglyphs like it's, I don't know, like he was born in ancient Egypt almost. So if you want to tell them your way to get in contact with you, your Instagram, or if you have a Facebook page.
Yeah, you are very welcome in Egypt, in Luxor, everywhere, anywhere in Luxor or Egypt. So I will be very happy to guide you, and you can contact with me through my WhatsApp, my Facebook page.
What's your Facebook page called?
My Facebook page, actually, it is like Mahmoud Hassan, normal Mahmoud Hassan.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you have an Instagram?
No, I don't have an Instagram, but I just have Facebook and WhatsApp.
And a WhatsApp. Okay,
yeah,
so I will
email address.
An email address. So guys, in the description of the video, I will put his email address for you and his WhatsApp number. So if you're in Luxor, you can get in contact with him. He also has an apartment that he lets out. So if you're going to go on a cruise, for example, and you arrive a day early or whatever, and you want to explore Luxor before your cruise, you can also contact Dr. Mahmoud, and he can let out his flat to you, which overlooks is it Temple of Luxor? The flat?
No, it's in front of Luxor Temple. It's from the West Bank, yeah. But you can see Luxor Temple from the other side.
There you
like
go.
This.
So it's in a prime location, probably close to where your cruise will be as well. And he's an excellent guide. I highly recommend him, and his description and his information will be in the description of this video. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and I'll try to make your journey in Egypt in general, not only in Luxor, amazing.
There we go.
I'll do my best.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to Egypt.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So the Temple of Hatshepsut itself is on 3 levels. As I said, all this here has been restored. Apparently it was restored by Polish people, according to my guide, who is actually a really cool guy, very knowledgeable. You see here this floor here isn't the original floor, however this one here is, as you can see, it's obviously looking much older. But what I want to show you is over here in the far corner, these columns. I don't know if you can see them, because there was like a very basic mistake made in there that made everyone realize that this is actually the Temple of Hatshepsut. Because as I said, like with most of the kings and queens of Egypt, the pharaohs, there's always someone later on who tries to wipe them out of history. It's like a punishment for them. And we spoke about this before with regards to the smashing of statues' faces and noses and all this kind of stuff. There's a reason for it, there's a ritual to it. It's not like some people keep saying in the comments, oh, they're trying to distort history. Yes, they are trying to distort history, but it was them that did it to themselves. So I'm going to show you the perfect example of this right now. So as you walk around here, there's basically all these depictions on the wall, and you can see here, for example, behind me, there's this picture here, and then you look next to it, there's a gap where stuff has been removed, right? So what was removed from here was actually the picture or the image of Hatshepsut behind the god. And then there's another god above her there, and basically this kind of repeats itself. You can see it over and over throughout the temple. You have all the writing perfectly preserved, and then missing again. Another one here, missing. And apparently she had preempted this, and she thought one day someone's going to come along and try and remove my name from my temple. So she apparently hid her name up here in the top corner, kind of in cryptic writing, but they just also discovered it and they managed to kind of chisel it out. I'll keep showing you more examples of this over here in front of me now. So again, the top here, got those hieroglyphs, and she's missing. Again, yeah, perfect example, chiseled out. So you're probably wondering, well, if she's chiseled out of it, well, how do you know that this is a temple of Hatshepsut? Well, there's one little clue left, and which is on this column here, which is this here. I don't know, guys, if you can see it. This is here is her name in a cartouche, and it's all her description here, just on this one single column. Now you're probably wondering, why did they leave it on this single column? Well, let me show you why. It's because this column had collapsed at some point on its front. So when they first found it, it had collapsed on its front, with that writing being on the underside. And the people who came here to change the inscriptions to hide, which was actually as a result of her son who'd killed her, because he was sharing the throne with her for a period of time, and she kept trying to kind of get rid of him. She enjoyed the power too much. She sent him to war several times, and he kind of clocked on, hang on a minute, she's trying to kill me, I'll get rid of her first, which she did. And then he tried to wipe her out of history completely, but obviously failed by missing this one cartouche on this column, which let us know that this was actually her temple originally. Okay, now we're coming up onto the third level of the temple, and there's something very, very interesting up here that I want to show you, which is by design, and it only happens once a year. I'm sure if you are familiar with Stonehenge, then you probably might be familiar with this sort of design built in within a temple. So let's go and have a look at it. So we're on the top level now, and you can see all these like big figure statues here. Now again, if you look closely on them, you can see there's like old bits and new bits, because like I said, it's heavily restored, this whole place. There's not actually much that's original, believe it or not. It's just kind of bits stuck on there from the original design or model. So this isn't the interesting part that I want to show you. The interesting part is through here. So it's pretty much the same, just down there. Let's head in here and have a look at this interesting thing.
Both. Okay. Down is going to be easier.
So I wanted to show you where the two little windows at the top there, I don't know if you can see them, they're just above the door. It's like two openings. Now the interesting thing about those is that once a year, only once a year, the sun will shine through them and hit a statue that's inside there during the solstice. So the whole orientation of this temple was based around the sun, which is very interesting in itself. As always, a mammoth effort for what you wouldn't even realise if you didn't know about it. Again, the walls were restored. There are bits of hieroglyphs on here, guys, but these are stuck on from the original bits of stone that they found, and they've just put into the wall to demonstrate to you what it actually looked like. The hieroglyphs and the writing is original, but where the gaps are, obviously it isn't. What I was talking about earlier, guys, that opening there. sun comes through it, and then it hits that opening just there above the door where it would hit the statue inside that chamber. Try and get you a closer look at the chamber. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick tour of the Temple of Hatshepsut here in Luxor, Egypt. I highly recommend you come here. It is, Hatshepsut herself was such a important figure within ancient Egyptian history, being a female ruler. Didn't realize how big that step was. And it's an impressive place. Look at it. You know, so do come here. Make sure you have a decent tour guide with you. Ideally, one like mine, an Egyptologist, and you will enjoy it. You really will enjoy it. It's impressive. You can't not be impressed by this place just from the sheer size of it. So until the next place, see you then.